Well, here we are, in the bowels of the Kamo Rugby Club on a wet, cold Thursday night. The 2008 season has drawn to a close, and we're here getting the real black and white word from the coaches, the players and the characters of the season. First was the Magpie Mail, so naturally there was going to be a follow-on TV series, and this is just the pilot. So Chris, here we have Chris Adams. He's the head coach of the Kamo Reserves. How do you think the season went, Chris?
Well, yeah, very disappointing to be honest. Yeah, we've gone through the season with a bloody good side. We've had 9 wins. We clocked up 343 points for us and 272 against, which should have given us a hell of a good win all the way through, but it didn't. Five games with 5 points difference is pretty much the sums the season up. Yeah, a little disappointing. Yeah. Best game.
So Chris, what game particularly stood out for you of the season?
You'd have now just. We've had some big games, but
The Notebook.
Notebook. You just bring the notebook, guys. Yeah. Got the notebook here. Some big games. Yeah, no, old boys. There was a 41-7. Great game. Sharks went down to the Sharks. Shame that.
Why particularly the Sharks? Chris, is there some connection there that we need to know about?
Yeah, I think my my teammate played for them. Actually, I think he's my assistant coach, ex-Shark man. And we went down to them. I'm not sure that had anything to do with the game at all, but yeah, there's a possibility there. 21-26, someone was paid. Okay. Moving to Maris, you know, you can bring in so many. Are we allowed to say islanders, coconuts, or any other such names? No, probably not. 26-11. Yeah, we'll come back to that one shortly. Yeah, in the second round, actually. Yeah. Kamo Midwestern absolutely dicked them. Yeah, 41-0. Lovely game. Boys played well. Kamo Waipu, probably one of our better games. 25-8. Awesome. Kamo Mid-Northern at 21-26. 41-7. 25-8. Awesome.
That's a fairly extensive rundown there. Chris, plans for the off-season for you?
Well, I've got this couch, and it just needs someone to sit on it, yeah. And probably peeling me off for next year might be a problem. So, yeah, that's my off-season job. Pretty much covered. And probably peeling me off for next year might be a problem. And probably peeling me off for next year might be a problem.
Here we have the other half of the Bees coaching act, and with dairy prices going through the roof and the impending national government coming in and the Sharks beating the Reserves in the first round, you'd be having a fairly good season. Could you tell me your highs and lows?
Yeah, well, I've been looking at boats. Hopefully I'll buy one, and then I can do a bit of fishing and maybe a bit of golf if I get time. So that's.
And the young fella played pretty well for the A's there and celebrated his 21st. Any stories you'd like to sort of give us about that night?
Oh no, it went well. The club, spoke really well of Graham, and yeah, I was really proud of him, and it was a good night. It was a bloody good night. So.
Great. Usual story, the training, people getting to training?
Maybe a bit of golf if I get time.
There's a couple of rumours that following the pre-season at Helensville, a couple of the boys got crabs. What's your rendition on that?
We're all pretty happy with it at the moment. Maybe a bit of golf if I get time.
Well, here I am talking to one of the more important cogs in the Kamo machine, the club captain, Bevan Bradburn. So Bevan, highlights for the 2008 season?
Highlights for me definitely have to be, we've got a good bunch of players this year, a bit of a bit of a mix of old and young. But the highlight game of the season for me would have to be the last one against Hikurangi.
Looking around both teams, there's a wee bit of experience floating around, but is there any particular young fellas that you think have had a pretty good season?
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of good players coming through. Guys like young halfback Jamin. Up in the A's, there's guys like Roy Griffin, Nick James. There's some real talent there. Hunia Kingi, some really good players. So looking good for the future, and very good club atmosphere this year, team atmosphere in both teams. So looking forward to the next couple of years.
And yourself, you're strapping the boots on for 209?
Oh mate, we won't make those predictions yet. We'll see if we can get through the off season, make sure we don't get any injuries out fishing or anything like that, and we'll see what happens.
A couple of things that bubbled up during the season, or very much in the early season there, Woody. There was a slight rumour after the boys come back from the Helensville pre-season that Maff had to be called in to stamp out some little greeblies. What's the story on that one?
Oh, it was good. Lot to live up to. Last guy only lasted a year after he couldn't sort of carry on what Bales had done. So.
And the quintessential question, how did you feel the reserve coaches went this year?
He's pointing! He can't use both hands. Now I know the horse's ass!
You got Buffalo! He went well,
So you got to drink that? No, hold on. He
Gives me special pleasure now to have a word with, probably the last word with the players' wet nurse. Because this man here does a lot of work around the club that doesn't get seen or appreciated sometimes. And the man is Mark Carter. So, Mark, what's the plans for the off-season now? The footy's wound up a bit early.
A bit of fishing, just no rugby, watch All Blacks. Yeah, just relax.
So, any hookers lined up for the off-season?
Oh, a couple of 3 out, one in Aka here.
Oh, you're not giving anything away, eh?
Oh, can't tell you too much.
Yeah. Good on you, Mark. Another integral part of the Kamo machine here, we have Chicken George, particularly with the resurgence of the magpie. He's a man who can put a good magpie war cry out, and let's have it. And how'd you enjoy your season anyway, Chicken?
I found it quite interesting, actually. Us being Pope Benedict and his parishioners, and I thought that was bloody good.
Highlight of the season for you?
Missing out on the semis.
What about a low light then?
Getting left behind in Welsford.
There's rumours following the pre-season with Helensville, a couple of boys got crabs. What's your rendition on that?
Haven't had a look at the paper. Give me a ring at the District Council.
And yourself, you're strapping the boots on for 209?
No, I'm going to spend my off-season in the Kamo pub chasing the horses.